Right now, there is a massive shift in trading that most people haven't noticed yet. The best traders in the world, hedge funds, prop firms, institutions are quietly replacing their human traders with AI systems. And it's not coming, it's already here. I'm going to show you exactly why this is happening, what it means for retail traders like you and me, and how I personally made the switch from manual trading to fully automated AI, and why I'll never go back. If you trade or you ever thought about trading, this video might be the most important one you will ever watch this year. So with that being said, let's get right into it. So let me show you something. Over 70% of all stock market volume, all of it is now executed by algorithms. Not people sitting at screens, algorithms, machines. The most profitable hedge funds in history, Renaissance Technologies, Two Sigma, Citadel, they don't hire traders who are good at reading charts, people like you or me. No, they hire mathematicians and engineers who are good at building machines. That's been true for a decade now. But here's what changed really in the last 2 years. Same technology, it used to cost millions. It used to require a team of PhDs. It was locked behind walls that regular people couldn't climb. And that wall is now gone. AI trading tools are now accessible to regular retail traders, people with normal accounts, people who aren't quants or engineers, regular people who just have a job, they have a business and want another form of passive income, or they just want another side hustle, something making them money while they're literally doing nothing at all, just investing the capital. And the people who figured this out early are seeing a version of trading that most people never knew even existed. A version where you don't sit at the screen, where you don't fight your emotions, where the execution is perfect every single time. And the people who haven't figured it out, they're still doing it the old way. They're still staring at charts, still battling their own psychology, their own emotions, and still wondering why they can't even stay consistent, why they can't get 10 to 15% gains on a monthly basis, why they're blowing accounts left and right. But let me break down exactly why this shift is happening. There are 5 reasons, and by the end, you're going to understand why going back to manual trading feels like going back to a flip phone. Reason 1, the market doesn't stop, and neither does AI. Forex is open 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. London session, New York session, Tokyo session, even Sydney session. They all overlap, they transition, and they keep on moving. You as a human physically can't monitor all of that. You have to sleep, you have to eat, you have to just live your life. And the best setups of the week, it might happen at 3 a.m. at a time while you're fast asleep, sitting next to your wife and kid. I used to wake up at 2 a.m., check charts while I was half asleep, make bad decisions because my brain wasn't fully online. I wasn't 100% there, and my brain was just rattled. I didn't have enough sleep. And then I'd be exhausted the next day and miss the actual good setup that happened at noon. AI doesn't sleep though. It scans every session, every pair, every time frame around the clock. It doesn't miss setups because it was tired. It doesn't make bad calls at 3 a.m. because it was half asleep and all groggy. It operates at full capacity 24/7. Now, reason 2, execution. And this one is underrated. When a setup triggers, milliseconds matter. The difference between entering at 1.0850, let's say, and entering at 1.0855 on a tight swing trade can be the difference between hitting target and getting stopped out. A human sees the setup, opens their platform, clicks the pair, types in the lot size, sets the stop loss, double checks the level, moves the stop because it doesn't feel right, changes position size, and finally clicks buy. By the time they're done, price has already moved. AI, it doesn't do that. It sets up the triggers, entry, stop loss, take profit, position size to risk parameters that actually make sense, and boom, it's done in less time than it takes you to even blink. And here's the part that most people don't think about. The AI sets the stop at a level that the strategy says to set it. Not 1 pip tighter because you're nervous. Not 10 pips wider because, you feel like you need more room. You're just getting emotional. You're not following your plan. AI follows this because it has no emotion. It follows that exact level every single time. Reason 3. This is the big one. Emotions. I have been trading since I was 16 years old. Over 6 years now. And I can tell you from experience, the strategy was never the problem. I had a strategy that worked. Positive expectancy, back tested over thousands of trades and proven. The problem was me. I'd go on a 3-week winning streak and get cocky. Then I'd size up, take a B- setup because I was feeling it or because I was bored, and then one loss would spiral into a revenge trade. And a revenge trade would spiral into a very bad week. Then the opposite will happen after a losing streak. I'd get scared. I'd skip A+ setups because I was afraid of another loss. I'd size down so much that even my winners barely moved the account, and I'd be trading not to lose instead of trading my actual edge and following my plan. That cycle, that confidence, that overextension, loss, fear, hesitation, it repeated for a lot of months. Don't get me wrong, I was extremely profitable. I was profitable for 6 years, but there was times that I was leaving money on the table, times that I was giving money back to the market, times I could have gotten that money and put it back into my pocket. And it was all because of my human emotion, the thing I was built with, that I lost that. And the worst part, I knew it was happening. I could journal it. I could identify every emotional trigger, but in that moment, when real money is on the line and the chart is flashing red, all that self-awareness goes right out the window. AI doesn't have fear. It doesn't care about the last trade, the last week, or the last month. Every decision is made in isolation, based purely on data and rules. That's not a small advantage. That's the entire advantage. Reason 4, patience. And I think this is the one people underestimate the most. The best swing trading setups, they don't appear every day. Sometimes the highest quality entry doesn't show up for a week, sometimes even longer. And, a human trader sitting at their screen for a week with 0 trades starts to lose their mind, especially a beginner who's very emotional, who's very greedy. They start to feel like they should be doing something when they should actually be sitting on their hands. Their brain starts convincing them that mediocre setups are good enough. They start forcing entries just to feel productive. And that's exactly how they turn a profitable strategy into a losing one. Not by having bad rules, but by breaking good rules because they were just bored. AI, it has infinite patience. If nothing meets the criteria on Monday, let's say, it waits. Tuesday, nothing. It waits. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, let's say there's nothing. It still waits. No frustration, no lowering standards just so it could find a trade. No, well, this one is close enough. No. Let's say on a following Monday, when an A+ setup actually appears, the AI takes it with the size it's supposed to. No hesitation. No, what if this is another false signal or a false breakout? No, it takes the trade with no doubt. And that patience, the ability to do nothing for days and then execute perfectly when it matters, is the hardest skill in trading. Most humans never master it, and AI starts with it. I say this to traders all the time. Not taking a trade is still trading. Tell this to traders all the time. Not trading is still trading. The best trade you can take is the one that you avoid. Reason 5, compounding. And this is where it all comes together. Take everything I just said, remove the missed setups, remove the late entries, remove the emotional trades, the revenge trades, the scared trades, the boredom trades, remove the inconsistent sizing and early exits, and what you're left with is pure strategy execution. Every A plus setup entered on time, every stop loss respected, every position sized correctly, every target hit, or every stop taken cleanly. That's what compounding actually looks like. Not getting lucky on a big trade, not having one great month, consistent mechanical execution over hundreds of trades. That's what it looks like. And the math is brutal once you actually see it. The difference between 90% strategy adherence and 100% strategy adherence over a year isn't 10%. It's the difference between barely breaking even and building real wealth. Because every emotional error doesn't just cost you that one trade, it disrupts the compounding chain. AI gives you 100% adherence, not 95%, not 99%, 100%. Every trade, every time, forever. I want to tell you why I personally built an AI to trade for me. Because I think my story is a lot like your story. I started trading when I was 16. I taught myself. YouTube videos, free PDFs, demo accounts, even jumping into live accounts. I blew my first real account in 2 weeks, funded a second one, blew that one too, and by the third time, I actually started being profitable. By 18, I was making real money. I'm talking about real money. And by 20, I had months where I was making more than my parents made in 2 years. And I thought, I had it all figured out. But every few months, the same things would happen. I'd get overconfident, start oversizing, start taking trades I knew were marginal, and then one bad day would wipe out 2 good weeks. Then I'd spend the next 2 weeks recovering not just the money, but my head, my psychology. I tried everything: journaling, meditation, a trading psychologist, rules written on my sticky notes, on my monitor. None of it stuck long enough. So I asked a different question instead. How do I fix my emotions? Because that's what 90% of traders struggle with. The strategy, that's the easy part. Psychology is where everyone fails. Humans just have ego. So what if I take emotions out of the equation completely? And that's when I built Control-Text AI. I took my strategy, the one that worked on paper, the one that I backtested profitably over 6 years, the one that my emotions kept on sabotaging at times, and I automated it. The AI scans forex pairs looking for, the best setups that meet a very specific criteria, and when it finds one, it enters. It sets the stop, sets the target, and holds. It doesn't trade every day. Some days it doesn't even take a trade at all, and that's fine, because when it does take a trade, it's an A+ setup executed with perfect execution. Last year, we got 70% annual returns, and this is verified by third-party platforms. Not because it has some secret strategy, because it executes a proven strategy without me getting in the way. Now, I already know what some of you are typing in the comments right now, so let me save you some time. If AI trading is so good, why would you tell people about it? Guys, the forex market has $70 trillion in daily volume. Trillion with a T, not a B. Trillion. My AI is managing a handful of accounts. It doesn't even register as a rounding error. And honestly, I make money from trading and building a community around this. Those aren't competing interests. They're the same interests and only getting me closer to my goal. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. You're right, and I say that constantly. The AI, it has losing trades, sometimes losing weeks, but the losses are controlled. At the end of the month, it's going to be profitable, It's all about keeping the losers smaller than the winners and winning more than you lose. The sizing is consistent and the strategy stays disciplined regardless of what happened yesterday. That's what separates a system from gambling. Oh, I'd rather learn to trade myself. Okay, good. I agree with you. Learn the markets, understand price action, because all of that makes you smarter. But once you know the strategy, once you know what actually works, why would you trust your own imperfect execution over a machine that follows those rules perfectly? Plus, you can have it on the side, giving you passive income while you're also trading with your own profitable strategy. Knowing the strategy and executing the strategy are two completely different skills, though. You can do one and outsource the other. So here's where we are. The traders, the ones who are winning right now, aren't the ones spending the most time at their screens. They're the ones who built systems. You can keep doing it the old way. Wake up early, stare at charts, fight your emotions, hope today is a good day, or you can build a system that doesn't need hope. If you want to see how Jotech's AI works, I put a link in the description, results, everything, and I'll link a video right here so you can watch the AI in action. I also run a community where I share the full journey, wins, losses, strategy updates, everything. I'm transparent with everything, guys. And if you like this video, hit that subscribe button. If it really changed how you think about trading, drop that like, put your notifications on, because I'm going to be dropping content every single week about AI and trading. Also, leave a comment. Would you trust an AI to trade for you? Yes or no? Let me know, guys. I read every single comment.